Bata Manga.
One of the main reasons I decided to marry my current wife was because she's a good cook. It's not that she can cook fine food, but she can make good food with what she has in the fridge. She also likes creative cooking, and she made me many dishes that I had never eaten before. My wife is also good at making lunch, and her hobby is collecting lunchboxes, and she enjoys changing the lunchbox depending on the menu. If she started an Instagram account, she would go viral. She is so good at taking pictures every day of her lunchboxes that female employees would want to use them as a reference. But one day, all of a sudden, my wife's cooking started tasting bad. I mean, the balance of the seasonings is all over the place. When I ate the pickled vegetables, the vinegar was so strong that I spit it out. And when she made simmered dishes, it was either too light or too salty, and there was no consistency. I thought maybe she was sick, so I checked on her for a while. But nothing changed. My son loves my wife's cooking too, and he always takes seconds. But since then, he has about 2 bites. Thanks for the food. And takes snacks to his room. In addition to that, she somehow started to look more stern than usual and stopped smiling. I was curious. Did something happen to you recently? Well, I mean, it's hard to say that my wife's cooking's been bad recently, because she's always been a good cook. I asked my wife, albeit in a roundabout way, if there was anything wrong with her, but she would say she's fine. It only got worse after that, and although she pretended to act cheerful in our presence, she often sighed when she was alone in the kitchen doing chores. I already had enough of that light flavor. My son started to eat sweets instead of eating rice. I finally told my wife that this wasn't good. Sorry, but doesn't it taste a little plain these days?
Oh, sorry. That's right. I'll season it better.
I was relieved when my wife said that, thinking, oh, I'm finally going to be free of the bad food. Then the next day, I got a dish that was way too richly seasoned. I turned my face to my son, and when he saw his mother in the kitchen, "Ew!" He stuck out his tongue and made a disgusted face. But I knew exactly how my son felt. Last time it tasted thin, but this time it felt like guzzling soy sauce. We'll get sick if we keep eating this kind of food. Thinking this was getting out of hand. Sorry, I can't eat this. I felt bad, but I threw the food away. My wife was in tears. Hey, you must be tired. You don't have to push yourself too hard. Let's go out to eat once in a while. Yay, I want to go to the conveyor belt sushi place. We haven't been feeding him good food lately, so this time we decided to go out for sushi, my son's favorite. As soon as we got to the sushi restaurant, delicious! And he ate it up. I felt bad for my wife, but it was the first good dinner I'd had in 2 weeks. But she didn't want to eat it at all. What's wrong? What, didn't you like sushi? I don't know what's going on anymore. Hey, something must be wrong. Don't stress yourself out. Talk to me. We're family, aren't we? And then suddenly my wife started crying. Not expecting her to cry. What? What? I couldn't hide my confusion. People were looking, so after calming her down and urging her to wipe her tears, she said,
I might have cancer.
We were puzzled by the unexpected response. What? What do you mean?
Actually, about 2 weeks ago, I started to feel something strange in my mouth. I've never had that before. At first, it was just a little soreness and a pain that I could live with. But I went to the dentist thinking I had cavity. But then he said it was nothing.
And it's been hurting ever since.
Yeah. Especially when I eat strongly seasoned food. So I lightened the seasoning a little, and it got better.
That's why the taste was so light.
I couldn't even give it a taste because it hurt so much. I thought it would be okay if I added more soy sauce or sugar or something.
I was taken aback by my wife's words. You thought it was okay.
But it really hurts. And lately, it hurts when I talk. And sometimes I can't even sleep. Then I saw a show on TV about tongue cancer. And I was so worried.
After seeing that, my wife immediately went online and researched more about tongue cancer. Then she hurriedly checked the inside of her mouth in a mirror and compared it to the symptoms described on the internet, realizing that she had similar symptoms in her own mouth. Upon closer inspection, she noticed a small white spot on the tip of her tongue, which she found to be intensely painful. So my wife thought that she had cancer and was depressed. It's just a mouth ulcer.
How can you say it's just a mouth ulcer? Mouth ulcers are a type of cancer.
Huh? What are you talking about? How can all mouth ulcers be cancer?
What? What are you talking about? A mouth ulcer is a tumor.
What? She is clearly misunderstanding. Then I explained in detail the difference between a mouth ulcer and cancer, but she was not convinced.
How can it not be a cancer when it hurts this much? Enough! I'm going to the hospital tomorrow,
she said in an angry tone. But the next day, as soon as I got home, my wife apologized. She went to the doctor, but it's a mouth ulcer. I'll prescribe medicine to reduce inflammation, the doctor told her.
Is it really mouth ulcers? Don't you have to treat it with anti-cancer drugs?
The doctor laughed hysterically. It's just a mouth ulcer.
But it hurts so much.
Is it that bad? Is it nothing compared to the mouth ulcers you've had in the past? Here, my wife finally started connecting the dots.
What are mouth ulcers?
Well, the cause of mouth ulcers is not clearly known, but it is said that they often occur when a person is not in good physical condition. Like tiredness or before a cold. It is inflammation, not cancer. Perhaps you've never had one before.
Yes, I've never had it. I was just told that tongue cancer was a hot topic recently, and that it comes with the symptoms of a terrific and painful mouth ulcer. I thought it was the phase before cancer, like stage 1.
I heard the doctor laughed even harder when she heard that. My wife with an apologetic look on her face to me and my son.
I thought I had cancer, so I didn't have much of an appetite. And I was so scared that I couldn't sleep for days on end and went to work sleep deprived. So I was exhausted, both physically and mentally. I guess that's why the mouth ulcers didn't heal.
If you had told me first, you wouldn't have had to go through all this pain. Our son and I wouldn't have had to eat the ridiculous food either.
I'm so sorry about that.
I almost started disliking my mom's cooking. Well, that's normal if you serve food like that every day. And since you were such a good cook, we both got used to delicious food. And then one day, the taste got really light or heavy.
I was so full of myself that I...
But we're a couple, a family, right? Of course we worry about you. So next time something happens, just tell us.
Yeah.
Then, when you get better, I want to eat your meat spaghetti again. Oh? Then I want to eat meat and potatoes and steamed rice.
Look forward to it.
My wife was worried too, but I'm really glad she doesn't have cancer. I told my wife not to worry, but to be honest, I was pretty worried, so I was doing a lot of research. When she told me she was going to the hospital, I was nervous about what the diagnosis would be. I get mouth ulcers easily when I'm tired from work, so I keep medicine in the office, but I was really surprised to see my wife get it for the first time.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end. What did you think of today's episode? Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on today's story. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe.